So once more from the thrust, I neutralize, go to poke her. As she starts to come over, I go for her neck. She then goes for my wrist, and now I just pull into my center. I said, this is too much. You know, I need a rest. There's too much going on here. I pull into my center, and now this is the first point where we're both sort of neutral. We both are kind of now back into our centers. We both don't know what is quite going on. Okay? Now that's one possibility. The other possibility is that Stephanie, again, is smarter than she looks. So from the thrust, I go to poke her. I go to cut, and now she comes around. Now, as I pull in, you see, and drop to get out of the way, she immediately follows with a neck slice, coming right in and through. Once again, changing the level and cutting upward. Yeah, that's good. Now this slice, this is what's called a slice as opposed to a chop. When I cut Steffi's neck, I'm not as nice as she is. I tried to cut it off. She is just doing like a little slice, just like, you know, my head was a big salami or something. And she just makes this little slicing motion. Now, I would let her do it, but you see this, unfortunately, this blade, because we've bashed it around a lot during training practice, has a serrated edge. And when you practice with it on the neck, it kind of is a little uncomfortable. So I hold it, which generally you shouldn't, you know, in all blades, really in your Tai Chi weapons and all blades, you don't touch the blade. But in this case, you know, I'm explaining, so we will. Okay, so you see this is very nice how she changed her level again from the thrust. Okay, here I poke, come up. Now as I change, she comes up, but oh! All I do is block. So I'm giving, this is a very strong block. So as she comes up, you see I'm down, and it's just a very simple, easy block. It's very strong, and if I want, say you just stand there, I can, you see, press into her. I can, you know, this is very strong, so I can come into that level. But I'm basically, at this point, this is called a horizontal block, you see. It's kind of going across my waist. Now, Steffi again, pulling a fast one. Here we go. As she feints upward, or starts to test me out, as I go, she thinks, okay, as I go up to protect myself, she just immediately cuts my leg, goes to the lowest level and cuts my leg and gets out. You know, you notice now, if you watch Steffi after she's coming up, you see, as she goes to cut my leg, she immediately gets out of there because it's very easy. I don't have any recourse against her. I want to try though. So from in here we are, we're both balanced. Now she fakes or goes upward, I raise up, and as she goes to cut my leg, I go for her arm. So kind of leave it out there a little bit. Okay, so from here, so you can see, as she goes for my leg, I get it out, you see. As she goes for my knee, you see, I get my knee out. At the same time, I go to cut her arm. So that's why, that possibility is why she wants to get herself out. She's going to make this little cut and get out of the scene as much as possible because I have that possibility. Okay? So I think that's all of the applications. And then there's the transition. There's the transition between A and B, so that we can make this and keep it going round and round. So you see, after we do this, she's going for my leg, and I'm doing this, is called riding a tiger. Immediately, when she's back, she comes back and just chops my neck. So she is now turning into A. Remember, my first movement was chop the neck. She is now doing that movement. From here, she immediately chops her, and now I cut her wrist, she withdraws. I go up for her neck, she blocks. I go for her belly, she neutralizes. She goes for my belly, I knock down. She goes, I block. I go for her wrist, she neutralizes. I come up, she blocks. I go for her knee, she tries to cut my leg, I get back and out. And then we just can keep going on and on and on. Okay, is there anything you think that we need to say? I should have, mic'd Stephanie, but I didn't, but well, okay. So I think what we'll do now is let me go through the A side. So thank you for now. You'll be back in a minute.